Well, I welcome you, and whether you're here in person, listening to this on DVD, or watching this on the internet, I appreciate this time that we get to spend together. Life is easy. It's summertime. If your life doesn't seem to be moving in that direction, for the next 5 weeks, we're going to find out why. We're beginning the Summertime Living is Easy series for 5 weeks that talks about every area of your life. You know, every experience you have comes in one of 5 different areas. It comes in your relationship with your higher power or God, a relationship with yourself, the relationship with others, a relationship with the activity of your life, and the relationship that you have with your imagination or your potential or the future life that lies before you. You know, we live in a country that provides more benefits, more pleasures, more niceties than any place else in the world. We live in a truly living easy age. And science and technology continue to create things and invent things that make life even easier. You know, what would Alexander Bell say if he could come back here just for an hour? And we took out a cell phone and we showed it to him, and he says, I can take this any place I want, call anybody I want, from anywhere I want, anytime I want. He would think it was magic. And now they have iPods about the size of half a pack of gum. They hold 1,000 songs. What would Mozart say if he came back and we said, every single song you ever composed can be heard on this iPod in full concert at any time? Once again, his mind would be boggled. But we take these things for granted. You know, we've grown up in an age of technology, and the children that are coming after us even more so. My grandchildren, who have yet to start kindergarten, are already working on a computer with various 5 and under children's games or puzzles or practices that they can pull up anytime. It's just absolutely incredible. You know, one of the great benefits that I enjoy, when my wife's out of town especially, is going home and... don't go there, please. Let me start over. Sometimes when I get home at night and I'm tired and there's no food to eat, I enjoy calling up someplace and having them deliver food hot to my door. What a blessing that is. What a great pleasure that I can get almost any kind of food that I want simply by picking up the telephone and calling for it. And now we as human beings have extended that same benefit or that same pleasure to the birds. Literally. I read in a magazine this week where they built a birdhouse, and on top of the birdhouse there's a little solar panel. And that solar panel collects the sun's light, it turns it into energy. That energy lights up a perch that comes out from the front of the birdhouse door, and at night the bugs flock to that lit perch, and the birds literally are having their food delivered to them. That is living easy, don't you think? Life is just incredible, and every once in a while, you know, a small dark cloud will come through the sky, and we focus on that, we think that's all there is, and the good has totally disappeared, and we just worry, and we worry, and we worry. With all the benefits and all the pleasures that avail us, United States citizens rank 13th in happiness with all the countries in the world. That's behind Venezuela, behind El Salvador, behind Mexico, behind Vietnam. 13th in happiness. Only 40% of Americans say that they are truly happy, compared to 70% of the people that live in Nigeria. Now think about that. 70% of people in Nigeria claim that they are very happy, and it's 40% here in the United States. There was a survey, and half the people that responded said they experience high levels of stress, and 3/4 of them responded that they experience stress-related illnesses. Now, why is that? You know, we are designed to live easy. The world is designed to live easy. There are bumps and there are problems and there are challenges along the way, but not enough to upset us to the point or disturb us to the point or disengage us to the point where life becomes the enemy. Life is good. It's getting better, and we can always make the best of it. So, to begin this Living Easy series, let's pose the question, what makes life not so easy or not so happy at times? Generally speaking, it's because something is happening that we don't like. And when we don't like something, we resist it. And when we resist it, we become afraid of it because we think that we don't have the power to control it. And when we're dealing with something that we have no control over, it makes life very, very difficult. Life happens the way it happens. And unless there is a situation of survival, of safety, or of health for you or your loved ones, every other worry, fear, or concern that you have isn't justified. Now think about that for a moment. Other than survival, safety, and health, every other fear that we engage in has no justification. It has no factual base. It is not good for us. It does not lead to any good. It is just something that we play around in our minds. And most of those fears come from us trying to control something we can't control, or us trying to be something that we can't be, or us worried of failure or the fear of rejection. And so we worry and we worry and we worry. And it's just life happening. You know, there's a woman who went to Buddha, and she said, my life has so many problems and challenges in it. And I'm getting worn down. I am miserable all the time. Please take this suffering from me. And Buddha says, I'll tell you what, your suffering will be removed if you go and bring me a mustard seed from a home that has never known suffering. And so the woman went out to find this mustard seed, knocking on doors, and every place she went, she asked, do you have problems? Do you have challenges? Have you ever known suffering? And every single household sat down with her and told her about what they were experiencing in regards to difficult times or the times of difficulty they'd had in the past. Well, eventually the woman came to the conclusion that life has problems and it has challenges, but I don't have to engage myself in them to the point where I get ill or I am uneasy or I have a dis-ease to me. I can focus on creating in my life what I want to create and forget about those things that have no positive effect. Now, for clarification's point, let me say this. Some fear is good. Some concern is good. Some worry is good. Some anxiety is good. When it is related to your safety, your survival, or your general well-being. You know, we are engineered, so to speak, genetically engineered to react with certain fear and certain worry when something has the capability of ending our life or doing something that injures us. But other than that, other than those three things, health, survival, and safety, fear has no place in our lives. It is fabricated. We've made it up. No other creature on earth experiences that kind of thing except for us as human beings. It's a product of an overactive imagination. Now, I think most of us would agree that the Bible is probably the best source of inspiration and spiritual direction that we can find. It's thousands of years old, written by some spiritual masters with great words of wisdom. So when it comes to living, let's see what the Bible has to say. Let's see here, Genesis 15. Don't be afraid. Exodus 14. Don't be afraid. Numbers 14. Don't be afraid. Deuteronomy 1. Don't be afraid. Joshua 8. Don't be afraid. Judges 6. Don't be afraid. Samuel 12. Don't be afraid. King 17, don't be afraid. 1 Chronicles, don't be afraid. Nehemiah 4, don't be afraid. Isaiah 7, don't be afraid. Jeremiah 1, don't be afraid. Ezekiel 2, don't be afraid. Daniel 10, don't be afraid. There's 365 verses in the Bible that say, don't be afraid, one for every day of the year, coincidentally.